pronounced dead after the vehicle she was driving hit a transport truck on the Inland Island Highway near Qualicum Beach. A witness says a sports car was traveling south in the northbound lanes early this morning. Police received a 911 call reporting the erratic driver, but just seconds later the car slammed into the truck head-on. A-News reporter Steve Coulterman has more, and a warning: some of the images in this story may be disturbing for some viewers.
The remains of a black sports car are scattered alongside Highway 19.
When the members attended at the scene, they discovered that a passenger vehicle had collided with a 5-ton truck, and the passenger vehicle had been heading southbound in the northbound lanes, just north of the exit of Qualicum Beach.
The woman driving the car was pronounced dead at the scene. Police say she is 60 years old and from Campbell River. The truck driver is from Surrey. He was treated for non-life-threatening injuries.
We're still following up with some witnesses from the scene and to determine exactly how and why this took place.
Northbound lanes were closed for nearly 6 hours while investigators examined the scene and crews cleaned up. The remains of the vehicles that were involved in the overnight accident were brought here to Aerosmith Automotive, where it's been an emotional day for employees, even for a veteran tow truck driver of close to 40 years.
Just kind of walked away from it, stayed away from it, because my stomach was rolling, and it was it's really nasty. The worst I've seen, and now kind of wound down, but at first it was really didn't really want to be there. Front axle was up on this side. Mustang was basically right underneath the whole truck. We had to lift on the truck a little bit and then pull the Mustang back out to get it onto the deck.
The crew from Aerosmith Automotive had to make 2 trips to the scene of the accident. They first brought back the 2 vehicles involved, then a pickup truck full of parts found all over the highway.
This hit so hard that it broke both camshafts off the top of the engine. I've never seen anything like that before. Yeah, those are all transmission parts.
The parts are still being sorted, and how this accident happened is still being put together. In Qualicum Beach, Steve Coulterman, A-News.
BC's tough stand on drinking and driving is getting a strong show of support from people in the capital region. A poll released today for the CRD Traffic Safety Commission shows nearly 2/3 of respondents say they believe in the new measures. But those responsible for road safety wonder if everyone is getting the message.
Tough new penalties such as longer roadside driver's license suspensions, police impounding cars, and steep fines are raising the stakes for those who choose to drive well over the limit.
Big deep breath, I'll hold it.
And even after police were forced to recalibrate their roadside screening devices to give more leeway, they say the new laws are the right way to go.
It hasn't affected either the number of demands that we're making at the roadside, nor the results of those demands that we've made. It is an amazing tool for keeping our roads safe. It allows us to take immediate intervention and to actually prevent the driver themselves who's impaired from continuing on and perhaps getting in a collision that would kill themselves.
And a majority of people living in Greater Victoria agrees. The survey for the CRD Traffic Safety Commission reveals nearly 2/3, 63%, support the tough approach. But police and the commission are concerned that while women are getting the message, men have a long way to go.
76% of women supported the province's changes in the drinking driving legislation, whereas on the male side, it was 48% supporting those, while 44% were opposed to it.
And reaching that demographic is important. In 2008, the last year the statistics are available, of the 21 people who died in alcohol-related crashes on Vancouver Island, 71% were men.
People will know the drinking driving ads. You've heard them on many sports shows because, by and large, we've been trying to target an older male audience.
But the Commission says, despite the gender gap, it believes the new laws will reduce the number of alcohol-related deaths on BC roads by 35% within the next 2 years. In Saanich, Stephen Andrew, A-News.
Saanich police were called to a single vehicle crash on Cordova Bay Road earlier tonight. Police say a driver followed another vehicle into a driveway and then went off the road, through a fence, and into a house.
It just looks like a driver that wasn't paying attention. I think gets into that flow of traffic as they're trying to commute home and thinking about lots of other things and not so much about their driving. It's very lucky that somebody wasn't, seriously injured here.
As I drove in my driveway, she wasn't paying attention to the road and she just followed me and came right through this right through the corner here. If it hadn't been for this fence, which was just flying everywhere, she would have gone right over and right into the house.
Saanich police say the driver is facing a charge of driving without due care and attention. Police made a major drug bust on the island today. 5 men and 1 woman are facing drug charges following early morning raids. Officers from Vic PD, Saanich Police, and the Island District RCMP forced their way into 4 different locations across the capital region. The raids followed a 2-month-long drug investigation in which officers tracked a group of alleged drug dealers believed to be trafficking cocaine and heroin in the Victoria area. Warrants were executed at 2 homes in Victoria, in the 1000 block of Queens Avenue and in the 2100 block of Ridge Road. In Langford at a condo building in the 2700 block of Veterans Memorial Parkway, and in Saanich at a home in the 600 block of Baltic Place.
So we have seized a significant amount of potential evidence, drugs, cash, and computers. We're still cataloging that evidence. It's going to take a few days to total up what we've seized, and we'll probably release some more information later. We came together and simultaneously and in a coordinated fashion executed these warrants, and they were all done safely without incident and well planned. And I think that planning speaks to Vic PD's 2 months of worth of work, and then the work done in the lead up to the execution of these warrants. And that's a cooperation that thankfully we experience on a regular basis here in the capital region.
5 men and 1 woman between the ages of 27 and 48, all known to police, were taken into custody. They have been released on a promise to appear in court in early February. Investigators are still preparing formal charges. The 2011 Tall Ships Festival in Victoria has run aground, a victim of the still struggling economy. The Victoria Tall Ships Society was finalizing preparations for the event next June when it realized it just couldn't raise enough money. News reporter Andrew Johnson has the story.
When the Tall Ships Festival first sailed into Victoria in 2005, it was an instant success, packing the inner harbor. In 2008, it generated more than $8 million for the local economy, but its organizers are not swimming in profit.
Unfortunately, the society is not the one that sees the profits. I mean, we're a group of volunteers. We like the tall ships, and we really love Victoria and showcasing it.
The festival costs more than $1 million to bring to Victoria, with the money being raised from all 3 levels of government, the corporate sector, and ticket sales. But this year, the numbers just didn't add up.
The city has been wonderful, but as we know, both the province and the federal government are in deficit, and we couldn't ask them to do what they couldn't do. And on the corporate side, we had some great enthusiasm, but we had some folks, in fact, had to reduce the amount of cash support.
He says the society isn't prepared to spend money it doesn't have, and decided the responsible decision was to cancel. Just the news Tourism Victoria didn't want to hear after a lean couple of years.
We're extremely disappointed. It was quite shocking news. It's an event that only comes around every 3 years. It has tremendous economic impact for us, and it's a sad day.
Tall Ships organizers say they have unsuccessfully knocked on many doors to try to make up their $250,000 shortfall, so they are not optimistic the media coverage of the cancellation will lead to a last-minute savior stepping in, but they do admit it's still possible.
If there's a white knight that we didn't get to that says here's a $250,000, yeah, we'll turn it back on.
But he says it needs to happen fast before too many plans are undone. If not, the Tall Ships Festival will run aground until at least 2012. In Victoria, Andrew Johnson, A News.
As one group cancels its plans, another organization is confident it can bring a major event to the Capital Region. The Capital Region Music Society says the 2013 Juno Awards would generate $20 million in economic impact. 2 island-based musicians with Juno experience say the contribution to the creative community would be priceless. That includes Vince Vaccaro, who was asked to perform during Juno Week in Vancouver.
You know that there are people in the room that, are very connected and can maybe unlock some doors that may or may not be, available to people who are not partaking in that kind of a party.
Like I met people like Brian Adams and all these, because you're back in the Coliseum and you're meeting everybody and you're all kind of, not on the same level, but you're all musicians. So it's kind of a neat experience.
The next step for the Capital Region Music Society is to complete the bid package. They'll send it off to the Canadian Academy of Recording Arts and Sciences. The deadline is April 15th. Researchers at the University of Victoria are recommending raising the prices on cheap alcohol to lower our crime rate. Just ahead on A News at 11, the Centre for Addictions Research BC says even a small price increase could have big gains.
Williams in Nanaimo. Well, we're going to see a little sunshine for tomorrow. The rest of the 7 day you might not be so happy about, but in the meantime, take a look outside. Here's the kind of night we're having right now on Vancouver Island from the Schoolnet Weather Sensors. I'll be back with your full forecast on A News.
It's so simple. You can have your new kitchen at a fraction of the price with the help from the kitchen technician. Changing the doors and drawer fronts will change the entire look of your kitchen. There are hundreds of options to choose from. Durable, stylish, and economical. You could save up to 40% of the cost of a new fitted kitchen. On the island, count on the kitchen technician to pay attention to all the details. They're the pros. It makes sense. It's so simple. Call for your free consultation. The Kitchen Technician. Now open in Nanaimo.
Hey, it's bad enough that you took them as a trade-in, but...
Yeah, figured we got our money's worth, right?
There you go.
The Bring Home a Honda event is on now. We've created these limited special edition Accords and Civics, loaded with no charge added features, no payments for 90 days, and a $500 cash bonus. But it's just for the holidays, so hurry in.
Grandma, can we get this from Nick? Sure. Yes, thanks. The computer guy gave us all the info we need and showed me how to set it up. It's super easy. It's perfect. This one's your logo list.
So what did I get in bike rack?
Oh, Uncle Nick's logo.
Better save that for when I get home. I really miss you guys.
Nobody does it better. Except maybe you.
Like a Canon camera with memory card for $159.99 and a laptop with 3 gigs of RAM for $329.99. Future Shop, exciting stuff.
UVic researchers are recommending the province raise the prices on cheap alcohol. The Centre for Addictions Research, BC, says you can get a drink in a liquor store for less than 60 cents. And even alcohol merchants agree the low end is selling more and in larger volumes than before. Mary Beth Burton has more.
Alcohol is the cheapest mood-altering drug in BC, according to UVic's Centre for Addictions Research.
The UVic research finds that on the low end, the cheapest drink would be about 58 cents, while at the high end, $994 for one serving.
It's the low end that scientists say causes the most damage, with 2,000 alcohol-related deaths and 20,000 hospitalizations in BC every year.
Lower cost stuff has been losing pace. It doesn't keep up with inflation, and there's more and more of it around, and it only encourages young people to drink more, vulnerable populations to drink more, but all of us to drink a bit more than perhaps we should.
Even alcohol sellers see the wisdom in the research.
Yeah, they sure do. Buy lots of it.
Brennan says private liquor stores have noted a trend. Sales are even or up slightly over previous years, but volume is up considerably.
Instead of buying one bottle of wine, say that's $30, they maybe buy two that end up being $30 or end up even being $35 maybe, but they get more for it.
Brennan thinks the HST and a weak economy are driving people to make more affordable alcohol choices and suggests a small price increase could have big gains.
Road crashes, road trauma goes down significantly. Sexually transmitted diseases go down. Premature deaths from things like liver cirrhosis or even some cancers will go down.
Stockwell admits charging more for alcohol may see the marginalized consume non-beverage alcohol like Lysol. He would like to see government-controlled rations.
A managed alcohol program allows stable accommodation and giving small amounts of alcohol at regular intervals.
But free booze to the homeless may strike a chord with some taxpayers.
But they should maybe pay for rehabilitation maybe instead of in subsidizing their alcohol.
Most rehab facilities have a 5% success rate.
It costs a hell of a lot more money for the status quo because of all the police costs and the healthcare costs.
Making free, controlled alcohol the more affordable option for a small segment of our population. In Victoria, Mary Beth Burton, A News.
Now to a developing